video game industry is in serious trouble, folks. This isn't hyperbole. With insane prices, the RAM shortage, a terrible economy, and a lack of creativity, this combination of issues is going to knock over the entire industry, and it's going to get really ugly really fast. I'm going to go over all of the major console manufacturers today and discuss what they have going on now, where their problems are, and what they might be able to do about it. Take a look at this. Last month, November 2025, for those of you in the far-flung future. Last month was the worst November since 1995 for hardware sales. That's not good, my friends, when we had a console manufacturer launch a new platform, and this is its first holiday season. Nintendo. Yikes. The problems with the gaming industry put Nintendo in quite a pickle. With the Switch 2, they went for iteration instead of innovation, and that has never worked out for the big N on the hardware side of things. Moving from NES to SNES was problematic. Moving from N64 to GameCube was a serious problem. And a decade ago, moving from Wii to Wii U was a total disaster. Nintendo has always really shined when it comes to innovation. When it comes to innovation in the market, they can see and understand things that others can't. An example is when the Wii was first announced, my immediate reaction was, no way. Nobody's going to want to look like an idiot in their living room. Man, was I wrong. Man, I was wrong. We all loved looking like idiots. It was fun to play, and the more people around made the experience even better. Well, I told you that story to tell you this one. The Switch 2 just tries to be more powerful than the Switch 1, in a time where that extra processing power comes at a premium price tag. The timing couldn't be worse for this product. Yeah, core gamers in my age range can afford it, and as early adopters, we bought it. But we aren't Nintendo's target market. I believe they thought that with the success of the original Switch, parents would buy it for their kids no matter what they priced it at. They probably were looking at 2020 when the PS5 and Xbox Series came out and saw the prices of those systems and that retailers couldn't stock shelves fast enough. Well, that in itself is the problem, as the target market for those systems ranges somewhere between 18 and 45. Nintendo's audience skews much younger, and adults with children in this market aren't going to spend $450 on something they see as a slight upgrade from what they've been peddling for the last 8 years. PlayStation's hardware sales are down, but they have a very large user base to fall back on. Sony finds themselves in a position a little better than Nintendo, and the reason why is because they have a ton of systems in the wild already. They're branching out to other hardware like the Xbox and PC, although they haven't fully embraced this concept like Microsoft has. Too much focus on games as a service has cost them a lot, but it looks like they're starting to move back to the bread and butter that made them a success from the tail end of the PS3 and all the way through the PS4 era. Just making great experiences that gamers can enjoy without feeling like they're getting fleeced. Xbox. Oh, Xbox, what has become of thee? Most people say the opposite, and I'm not trying to be contrarian, but I think Xbox is actually in the best position of all of the modern console manufacturers to deal with this crisis. Oddly enough, not because of anything to do with their console. I think they knew the winds of change have been coming for a while, and they've been preparing for the last couple of years to brace for impact. I say that because everyone thought they were crazy for putting their games on other systems and PC day and date with their own consoles. Microsoft's biggest problem is that they may have taken this too far and lost the plot on their own console business completely. They either don't care about it any longer or just want to focus on being third party, or internal struggles have made things on the hardware side so difficult that it's impossible to move units due to the economy, and they're just letting the cards fall where they may. It's hard to tell. Let's talk about solutions. Possible solutions, that is. I know I'm about to ruffle a few feathers with what I'm about to say, but hear me out. During this RAM crisis, Nintendo needs to make sure every game they release has a version that works with the Switch 1 at a bare minimum. They need to consider launching their games on mobile, if not on PC and other consoles. They don't have to be as aggressive as Microsoft. They can have an exclusivity window for themselves. Nothing's wrong with that. That's what Sony's doing, and it seems to be working well for them. Something has to give, though. If the RAM shortage lasts a long time, and I think it will, it's going to be all about finding gamers where they are instead of trying to get them to invest in new hardware. I'm just saying, if the price goes up for the Switch 2 and Nintendo isn't prepared to change strategy, they're going to be in an incredibly terrible position. Some of you may think this is an impossibility. Well, I used to think that way too, about Sega in 1999, when the Dreamcast had an amazing launch. I guess I'm saying that the console wars need to end so that the industry itself survives. I know this is a little heavy for my channel, but I'm highly concerned about where we're headed as an industry. I know over the last year, outside of 2 games, Sonic Crossworlds and Eartheon, I've only been playing retro stuff that I never got around to in the past, like Super Metroid. Great game, by the way. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe or whatever. Check out Gamesboro Radio and play trivia at radio.gamesboro.org, where you can give your friends a shout out on the air. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next year.